The impermanence of everything is a great clue to that everything is impermanent. I know it sounds obvious, but to the rational thinking mind it's not obvious, because the rational thinking mind, hello, look, my shadow. The rational thinking mind holds the whole narrative together, but only in the mind. It doesn't hold it together in the experience. The experience is that, wow, it's so noisy down here. This must be some work. I could turn the camera around, but I have sellotape over my camera because my phone is totally broken, so all you'd see is a blurry image. But even then, is the face of the speaker, does it exist? You know, the rational thinking mind would say, of course it exists, but the experience is. It just is, but it's not an experience, really. To experience something is to hold it as an experience, but it doesn't really exist like that, does it? So each step I take, each step disappears. Each one disappears, each door disappears, just goes nowhere. It's just gone. We think the past is still existing in some sort of realm, but it's not. It's existing in the mind. The whole idea of my life exists solely in the mind. But really, the whole life is completely impermanent and completely free. Each door, even the sky, it looked different when I came out earlier. It's bluer now. So everything disappears, and where does it disappear to? Well, as the living experience, for want of a better word, it disappears into nothing. Where does it appear out of? It seems to appear out of thin air, doesn't it? These are some little streets that I walk back through after I've gone to buy some fruit. I like to buy fruit in the morning. And yet the whole life holds together. Going shopping and doing what I do and getting my teeth stuck into things, which I like to do. But there's no real experience of it. It's just a flow of happenings, really. If we hold on to them as real, important in some way, importance can happen, sure, why not? But importance will also disappear back into where it came from. No power mode. Hey, my phone is completely broken. It was 80% about 10 minutes ago. So I'm going to have to keep it short. So we hold everything together in our minds as a picture. Amazing how busy it is on these little streets sometimes. Where's this guy going? Oh, they're trying to get through. Squeeze!
No.
Hi. Recognised a northern accent there. English northern accent. Of probably I'll be hearing a lot more of in the future that doesn't exist. And yet We do this thing called planning, don't we? And we plan to go to work, or we plan to go and see somebody, or we plan to make dinner. And that's just the flow of the things, isn't it? That's the flow of the things, and it seems to hold together, and yet, as an experience, they don't really exist. It's such a beautiful contradiction, and yet it is. And we can't know it. But there's a knowing, and knowing's a very difficult word because, oh my God, people are so uptight about words. How can you get uptight about words? Well, I guess you can get uptight about words because you think there's, people think there's some merit in them, some truth in words. But the flow is the ending of truth in things, because all things are impermanent. So there's this knowing in the heart, I guess, somewhere that's unplaceable, that knows that even though everything is happening and passing and moving, at the same time, the contradiction is there's a constant of that which cannot be named. Can't really give it a name, but somehow we all know it. Unless the personality is completely encapsulated by belief structures. And that's okay as well, because life expresses itself as that. But there is this knowing, and that's why there's this drive in many people to know it. But ironically, it is that which cannot be named. It can only be, not even sensed. Known, I guess, is the only word I can think of. But it's not that, is it? And we all know that. We don't need to give it a name. It just is. It's the is, the wondrous, magnificent, nameless, the magnificent nameless. And I'll leave it there.